So Vineet, hi. DealShare is a true disruptor in the social commerce space. Okay, and how do you think that the scope of social commerce in India exists, and what do you think is going to be the future around social commerce in our country?
So let's define the social commerce part a little bit because a lot of people, think about video commerce and a lot of different sort of forms of commerce as social commerce. But fundamentally, social commerce is where uh, the social network of a individual or a family is playing a very important part into the commerce transactions that are happening for the family, right? So where it is a lot more driven by either recommendations or some kind of group buying. I think that has to be very clearly termed. And in my opinion, if you look at how the even a lot of offline market really behaves, there's a lot of social commerce happening in India. When you are talking about the mass market in terms of all the products that really comes in and gets introduced, it is really the word of mouth that actually makes it very popular. And now with the digital sort of connectivity with everybody, I think it is very natural that that kind of behavior is going to shift online as this mass market population actually starts to transact. Today, we still do not have a large part of the middle and lower income population in India transacting online. But once they really get habitual about transacting online and buying online, social oriented models will automatically do much better because the consumers are able to relate to that a lot better as compared to what affluent crowd can really relate to.
Got it. And I like this word transacting online by the tier two, tier three, tier four cities or the people living over there. But I wanted to I love the UI UX of DealShare because it is so simple, very easy to use, and like all the other online retailers that are there, my mother usually tend to get confused. But with DealShare, I think it's so simple and it's two-step process. How did you guys basically challenge the conventional norm around how e-commerce is being built, and how did you guys came up with this approach? Because it's fundamentally very very different from how the UI UX usually work in the product companies in India.
So when you're looking, so first of all, you have to be very clear about your customer, right? Your TG,
Yeah.
and you have to be very sharp about focus towards your customer base, right? Because there are lots and lots of different types of customer, and a lot of times startups really get confused in terms of which is the customer that they are really serving. For us, it was very clear. That's why we really even shifted to Jaipur, right? That we really want to solve for the middle India and the middle income population. And when you observe it very closely in terms of what is their shopping behavior today, whereas the metros and the affluents are very sort of comfortable going to the big malls and big sort of giant shopping stores and willing to sort of browse in aisles and be able to select their products. There's a concept of cart where you really put in and take it. But large part of the population is still going to the kirana store, right? They just go to the kirana store, tell him that आधा kilo dal de do, and that's it, right? So you have to really think about how do you build an experience for that audience, and it has to be different. It has to be extremely simple. Even if you are not doing everything, even if you don't not having the whole selection, even if you're not having all different 10 forms of payment and all these different things, that those features are not even relevant or required. You really have to think about how do you make it so simple that they feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think doing simple is actually not very hard, by the way. Doing complicated requires a
Correct.
lot of engineering.
Actually, it
But
is
when you
hard. So, when people are thinking about it, people tend to basically make it very, very complex. Correct.
exactly, so if you start from really grounds up
Yeah.
level, you will always start very simple, right? If you already start from defining a very complicated product, that is where then you cannot really make things simpler.
Correct. Correct.
uh,
Correct. So you always focuses on applying first principle thinking towards solving a problem. I think this is where I am getting
hmm.
at, because whatever solutions you guys have actually come up with and how you have disrupted this entire space, everything seems logical, but when it happened, before that, it was not something which was logical. How did you guys build that core DNA in your team, as well as everyone who is executing at the grassroots level as well? That how are they thinking about Like how do they apply first principle thinking?
So I think we were also a little lucky with the decision we made to start from Jaipur, because obviously then we set up a team also over there.
Yeah.
And our first, even up till first few hundred people, till we grew till that level, we were in Jaipur, right? And they were largely insulated from the a lot of thinking. What has happened in the metros, right, in terms of
Yeah.
building products and in
Yeah.
terms of building solutions.
Yeah.
Over there it was a lot more with open mind in terms of what are the solutions we need to build, and that set the DNA. In fact, for any organization, I think that initial first year or the first few hundred employees really sets the DNA, and everybody coming in has to sort of adapt and blend into the DNA. So I think that really helped us, quite a bit. If I would say that we were quite fortunate to actually set that thinking in the
Yeah.
organization, that we have to always be first principles, identify the problems, figure out how to solve them, go test the solutions, and go to the next version.
Nice, nice, nice.